Hey guys, I am super excited to have Janice on today. So Janice has been coaching with me in my program for about 6 months now, and like I said, I'm excited. She just closed a deal, and it's a large deal. Was able to raise capital for that. So I wanted to bring her on and have her share her story with you, in hopes that it helps you accomplish your goals, and hopes that it helps you get unstuck. So Janice, thank you so much for taking the time to meet with me today. Um, can you give us a little bit of background, what your situation was like before you and I got started working together?
Sure. So I got started or I guess took the plunge into real estate just almost 2 years ago. And I had an opportunity about almost a year ago now to get into a deal, helping with capital raise, helping with investor relations, and fell flat on my face. We're just going to call it what it is. I didn't know how to raise capital. That wasn't something that I was really taught. I had no idea what I was doing, and I wasn't sure if I was ever going to be able to get into a deal, honestly, because even if I found the deal, I still have to raise capital, so however I find a deal, that piece is always part of it. And I just didn't know what to do. And then actually, I can't even remember how we were introduced now. It's been so long. But do you remember?
I
I can't remember.
I was launching the Skool community, and I think I
That's what,
launched that back in October.
yeah, I think
And I was running some webinars, and you and I both know Gabriel Kraft,
that's what it
and I
was.
believe he was a guest on the webinar I was co-hosting. And I think you joined the Skool community there, and I think that's how we got connected,
I think you're right. It's just been so long. It feels like we've been connected forever now, which is good. I mean,
right?
you know, you are 100% correct now. Um, and I know what it was. And then we jumped on a just kind of a one-to-one call and dove into what he does, what his background is, a little bit more, the coaching program, and kind of getting to know each other. And that's when I realized that what you do could really help me because I was stuck. And I had been trying lots of other things, lots of networking, you name it, but um, I didn't have a plan.
So one of the main struggles you said you had was raising capital, right?
Yep.
Because even though you had been presented an opportunity, and even though you were looking at other deals, you still had this, how the heck do I raise capital? Um, and what are some of the other things you had tried to do to raise capital?
Mostly in-person networking. I did a little bit of posting on LinkedIn just from, like, here's what I'm doing to try to get my network to see that I had kind of shifted my career, my life, so that I could maybe start building a little bit of awareness out there. And then talking to close friends and family. And that was really it. I mean, networking always has me in proximity to new people.
Mhm.
So I could do that, but that one at a time isn't going to work when you have a deal on the table.
Yeah, absolutely. So then you and I hopped on this call, and it was a really good call. Did you feel it was high pressure at all, or was it really more, let's see where you're at and where your struggles are, and let's see if there's a solution forward?
No, I don't feel it was high pressure at all. And I will tell you, coming from I was a headhunter for 20 years. I am not afraid to say no. And I know what pressure feels like. And it didn't feel like that at all. In fact, I don't know that I ever told you this, but as soon as we got done, I called my husband. I said, we need to do this. I really think we need to do this. But I wanted him to hop on a call, make sure that it
Hmm.
wasn't me. And of course, he said, absolutely, do it.
So I trust you, babe.
We agreed.
Yeah,
Yes, but trust but verify, right?
right.
So,
So what was it? What was it ultimately that made you say yes to moving forward?
Multiple things. One, that it was comfortable. It was a conversation. You're not a salesperson, which is great. And I mean that as a compliment. Um, you're you help put a plan in place, not just theoretical.
Hmm.
Oh, try this. It's very hands-on, very specific, I guess is the term I'm looking for. I can get some theoretical coaching online that I don't even have to pay for. There's videos or whatever, but I wanted a person that I could reach out to at any point and say, "Hey, I've got this. What do you think?" Or I'm doing it this way. Can you give me some advice? And you gave me some really good examples to even follow. So it wasn't like, "Hey, go put this together." Okay, I hope it's good. No, it was put it together. Okay, here's my feedback. Here's how you should tweak it. It was the plan of how you were going to really help me get there. It wasn't a let's wing it and I'll give you a bunch of hypotheticals and we'll see you on the other side.
So it was providing a framework and then showing you how to follow that framework and giving you the support while you were implementing that framework.
Correct. You said that so well.
I spent a lot of time putting together the framework.
It's a great framework. It
Yeah.
it has really done great for me.
And I spent years and years and years and tens of thousands of dollars figuring it out.
Sure.
And it's one of those things where if I can help shorten that for somebody else, like why would I not do that? And that's, just take that learning curve and shorten it significantly. And that's really the value I'm trying to add. And that's where we get on these conversations and it's like at the beginning, like I don't know if I can help you out, but we've got to have a conversation to see if I can help you out. And if I can, then absolutely I'm going to walk you through what that looks like. And that's what that conversation was with you and your husband, Carl. Um, so you already talked about well, let me ask this question a little bit different. So you mentioned my coaching. How is that, how does that stand out compared to maybe some of the other coaching that you'd received in the past?
So the other coaching, I mean, it was good. I learned a lot. Don't get me wrong, but it was, uh, you know, more hands off. Yours was very hands on. Um, I'm very independent, so I don't mind going and doing things. But if I don't know that I'm doing something wrong and I don't get guidance on what I'm missing, I can't fix it. And so your coaching was very, here's what you go do. I'm not going to do it for you, which doesn't, which is perfect. I don't need somebody to do it for me. Go put it together and then let's tweak it. And then also somebody to hold me accountable. Um, we had calls every week. If I knew that I had a call and I hadn't done it, that's on me. Why am I paying for coaching for something I'm not going to do? So the fact that I had those regular touch points made me do what I needed to. Now, I'm not a procrastinator by nature, but that really pushed me even further.
Yeah, we all need some pushing from time to time to get us a little bit uncomfortable.
Yep.
And that's part of that conversation that we would have is okay, if you didn't get that done, that's fine, but let's talk about why it didn't get done and let's remove that obstacle so that you can move forward.
Right. And I want to jump in and say that the coaching wasn't just uh, textbook type. It wasn't just that. It was very, all right, well, let's talk about what you're saying and how to adjust that. And, let's go through maybe a little bit of role play or, it's very personal to what is needed to me.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's where I can go come in and add the most value. So with that, what are some of the specific outcomes and wins that you've had since we started working together?
Well, I was able to raise capital to get in on this large deal that we just closed, which is exciting. And 7 months ago, I didn't think that would be something that I could do. I was pretty discouraged. So that's a big win. The other thing that I've been able to do is create I'll say a campaign or a plan for me to continue that capital raise um, process and a funnel and you know some marketing materials and as opposed to I'm just going to try a little bit of this and a little bit of that, but it's more structured, and that helps me run this like a real business, which is what it is.
how big is the deal you just closed on a couple weeks ago?
$10.8 million.
$10.8 million is 150, 152 units, right?
Yeah.
And your ability to raise capital compared to people who've been doing it for years, how did you end up side by side with them?
Um, Not too far off, honestly. I'll tell you, there's a two general partners on our team they've been doing this for 10 years, and they have tons of investors that they work with all the time. They made me look, and I hate to say insignificant, but they made me look like small potatoes, and that's
Mhm.
okay. But compared to most of the team, I believe I was the second highest raiser.
Yeah, and so you compare that to someone who's been doing it for 10 years. You got into this space about a year ago. You were stuck. We built a framework for you, and then you came in like second highest. And you're just getting started on this. So now you have a repeatable framework that you can put in place. You raised hundreds of thousands of dollars. One of the things you told me the other day was that you actually have on deck several hundred thousand more dollars
I do.
for another deal in the future. So you've actually learned to raise capital before you need it.
Correct. And that's huge. And I would say, me personally, I'm not a high pressure closer for my investors. That's just not my approach at all. And I think maybe if I were a little harsher, I probably could have raised more. But also learning through all this was to look at the big picture and not just the transaction. Um, we want to raise, we want to build investors for long term. You know, if I've got somebody that puts in 50,000 in a deal today, um, then I want them to invest in the next deal and the next deal and the next deal. Or maybe they don't put anything in today because they're too afraid. That's okay. I want them to still follow me and watch me so they can get in on the next one. And so that's been valuable. That'll pay off dividends for years.
Yeah, absolutely. So you'll have an idea of how much capital you could raise potentially for your next deal. You got a
Right.
framework to go find more investors and start warming them up. So you're just getting started on building a machine that'll basically be able to help you raise millions,
Correct.
multiple millions of dollars
Yeah.
going forward over the next several years, which is pretty exciting if you think about it,
Yeah.
because so many people are stuck right there. So with that, um, if you hadn't invested in this coaching, where do you think you would be today?
Not in a deal, bluntly.
Blunt, not not in a deal. You'd still be stuck.
Yeah, I think I would have lowered um, my dreams a little bit. I think I would have said, all right, well, I guess I need to find a fourplex and just figure out how I can find a partner and two of us do it because clearly that's the way I'm going to get my foot in the door.
Yeah. And now you've got this deal you just closed on. You got a phone call last Friday to be a general partner on a deal, and then you're out there looking for another deal,
Correct.
right?
Yes,
So very big difference as opposed to settling for a fourplex.
correct.
So what would you say to someone who's on the fence about investing in the coaching program with me?
Get off the fence. I mean, pull the trigger. We all need coaching. Look at athletes. They need coaching. and they've been athletes for years. They still have personal coaches. Every industry needs a mentor and a coach, and this one is no different. So,
Who do you think would benefit most from working with me in the coaching program?
anyone who either hasn't been in a deal yet, whether they've been in, starting to get in real estate for 3 weeks or a year, doesn't matter, or someone who has never um, raised capital for a deal, because there are all different roles in a deal. And for people that may be listening, maybe you were the underwriter, but you've never had to raise capital, and you want to get into more deals. Then you need to figure out how to raise capital, and you need to call Stephen and let him help you figure that out.
Awesome. If you had to summarize a coaching experience in working with me in one sentence, what would that be?
You're no longer my coach. You're my partner and my friend. I love it.
That's awesome. I'll take that. That's a fantastic sentence to bring us home. Janice, there's a chance people listening to this, maybe they want to invest with you and learn more about what you're doing. How can they reach you and learn more about you?
So the easiest way is to jump on my website, greenrootcapital.com. There's a schedule a call, sign up for our newsletter. I mean, there's tons of things out there, tons of buttons. You can email me directly at janice@greenrootcapital.com. And of course, I'm on LinkedIn as well, every day posting something. So any of those sites will be perfect.
Great. So for any of you who are watching this and you feel like you need to make a decision on moving forward, you want to get unstuck where you're at and raising capital, what I want you to do is there's going to be a link down below, and it's going to get us into a one-on-one call. And what we're going to do in that call is we're going to take a look at where you're at, where you want to be, and what you're really struggling with. And if I think my coaching program will help you, then I'm just going to walk you through what that looks like. If I don't think it's a good fit, then I'm going to be real honest with you, but I am going to give you some resources and some tools and send you on your way. And when you are ready, you are more than welcome to come back. And we're just going to keep it a real nice, easy conversation. The idea is to make it a win for you and help you get unstuck. So, Janice, thank you so much for taking the time to meet with me today. Thank you so much for believing in me to get you to this point where you are. I'm super excited for you and what the future holds for you and your husband and your family. Any parting words before we leave?
Uh, I really appreciate all of the coaching and the support that I've had from you. I seriously, it's been such a benefit. If there's anybody listening that isn't sure, just do it. Just do it.
Awesome. Thanks, Janice. All right, I will see you guys in the community, and I look forward to hopping on a call with you soon. Bye.